Hello students, I hope you all are fine and healthy. We are revising chapter number 2 is matter around us pure. In our previous lecture, we have read about pure substances, what are impure substances and the types of pure substances and the types of impure substances. So pure substances means those substances which are made up of only one type of particles. Now these particles can either be atoms or they can be molecules. Now the pure substances can be classified into two types, that are elements and compounds. Now elements means those pure substances which cannot be broken down or which cannot be split further into more simple substances like copper, iron, gold, silver. They all are elements because we cannot split them further into more simple substances. Now compounds means those substances which are made up of two or more elements that are chemically combined together. Now examples of compounds are sodium chloride, sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, calcium chloride. They all are compounds. Now impure substances means those substances which are made up of two or more pure substances mixed together, and these substances are not chemically combined with each other. Like if we take seawater, so seawater is a mixture. It contains salt and many other impurities dissolved in the water, and they are not chemically combined with each other. Similarly, if we take sugar solution, so that is also a mixture. Now the impure substances or the mixtures, they are also of two types, that are homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Now homogeneous mixtures means those mixtures in which the particles are properly, or we can say they are completely mixed with each other, and the homogeneous mixtures are uniform in composition, whereas heterogeneous mixtures means those mixtures in which the components are not properly mixed with each other. They can be easily distinguished with each other and they don't have a uniform composition. Their composition is non-uniform. Now the homogeneous mixtures, they are also known as the solutions, whereas the heterogeneous mixtures, they can be classified into two types. Heterogeneous mixtures, heterogeneous mixtures, they can be classified into two types, that are colloids and suspensions. So the two types of heterogeneous mixtures are colloids and suspensions. Now in this lecture we will learn about the three types of mixtures, that is solutions, or we can say the homogeneous mixtures, and suspensions and colloids. For learning about these three types of mixtures, we should know the meaning of the two terms, that are solutes and solvents. So do you remember what are solutes? Solutes. Yes, solutes means those substances which are dissolved in a liquid to make a solution. Solute means those substances which are dissolved in a liquid, which are dissolved in a liquid for making a solution, that is called a solute. Like we dissolve the sugar in water, similarly we dissolve salt in water, so they are solutes because they are being dissolved in liquid, that is water. Now this solute, it is present in less quantity. We can say that the substance that is present in less quantity in a solution, it is known as solute. It is present in less quantity. Now the solute is also known as the dispersed phase. It is also known as the dispersed phase. Now, do you remember what is solvent? Yes, solvent means those liquids in which the solute is dissolved, or we can say those substances in which the solute is dissolved for making a solution. So solvent means the liquids, or we can say the substances in which the solutes are dissolved, in which solutes are dissolved. Those substances are known as the solvent. Like we dissolve the sugar or the salt in the water. So here the water is a solvent. Now this solvent is mostly present in large quantities. In a solution, the solvent is present in large quantity. Now the solvent is also known as the dispersion medium. It is also known as a dispersion medium. So do you remember what are aqueous solution and non-aqueous solution? Yes, aqueous solution means those solutions in which the solvent is water. So the solutions in which the solvent that is used, it is water. So that solutions are known as the aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means in which the solvent is water. Okay. Now non-aqueous solution, it means those solutions in which the solvent is not water. Like if we will use the alcohol or any other solvent for dissolving a solute, so that solution is known as a non-aqueous solution. Non-aqueous solution. So for making a non-aqueous solution, we dissolve the solute in non-aqueous solvents, like it can be alcohol or benzene, carbon disulfide. So these all solvents, they are non-aqueous solvents. So if we will use a non-aqueous solvent, means that is not a water. So that solution, the prepared solution, is known as non-aqueous solution. Now the three types of mixtures, that is solutions, colloids and suspensions, they differ only in the size of the particles. Means the difference is only about the size of the particles of the substances. Now solutions are the homogeneous mixtures of two or more substances. So solutions means homogeneous mixtures of two or more substances. Now the solutions, or we can say the homogeneous mixtures, they are having the uniform composition. They are having uniform composition. Now it means that whatever part of the mixture we will take, it will have the same amount of particles of all the types. Like if we are making a salt solution, we are making a salt solution or sugar solution. So what will happen when we prepare the solution? So all the parts of the solution, they will have equal amount of salt or the equal amount of sugar. Means their composition is same throughout the solution. Now the examples of the solutions, that is salt solution, sugar solution, or lemon water and petrol, mixture of oil mixtures, cold drinks, soda water, cold drinks, soda water. So they all are the examples of the solutions. The properties of the solutions are, first of all, they are homogeneous mixtures. They are homogeneous mixtures. Now in the case of solutions, the size of the solute particles, it is very small. It is smaller than 1 nanometers in diameter. So size of solute particles, size of the solute particles is very small, and its size is less than 1 nanometer in diameter, less than 1 nanometer in diameter. Now the size of the solute particles is very small, and we can't see the particles of a solution even with a optical microscope. Optical microscope means the microscope that uses light for its working. So the particles can't be seen, particles can't be seen with microscope because their size is very small. Now since the particles are very small in size, so if we try to separate a solution using a filter paper, so the solution passes through the filter paper. It means we can't separate a solution, or we can't separate the particles of a solution using a filter paper. So can't be separated using filter paper. Now the solutions are very stable. Even if you will keep for few hours, they will not get separated. A solution will not get separated, and a solution do not scatter the light, does not scatter the light, does not scatter light. So these are the properties of the solutions. Now suspensions are the heterogeneous mixtures, and in the suspensions the small particles of a solid, they are spread in a liquid without getting dissolved in it. So in a solution, the particles of a solid, or we can say the solute, they are dissolved in the solvent. But in the case of a suspension, the particles of the solid, they are not dissolved, they are just spread, or we can say they are just suspended. So suspensions are the heterogeneous mixtures in which the particles of the solid, they are spread in a liquid medium. Like for example, the mixture of chalk and water, chalk and water mixture, or we can take the muddy water. The muddy water is also a suspension. Now we can, if we will dissolve the sand in water, sand in water, that is also a suspension. Like the milk of magnesia, the milk of magnesia that is used for treating indigestion, that contains magnesium hydroxide. So the milk of magnesia is also a suspension. You might have read on the labels of the medicines that shake well before use, because most of them are the suspensions. That's why it is written. So the suspensions examples are chalk water mixture, muddy water, and sand water. Now the suspension is a heterogeneous mixture. It is a heterogeneous mixture. Now the size of the particles in the case of a suspension, it is very large and it is more than 100 nanometer in the diameter. So size of solute particles, size of solute particles is more than 100 nanometer in diameter. Now since the size of particles is very large, so it can be easily seen with our eyes. Can be seen by eyes easily. We can easily see the particles of a suspension. Now since the size of the solute particles is large, so the suspensions are unstable, means if we will keep them for a long time, so the solute particles will get settled down. So the suspensions are unstable. They are unstable. When they are kept for a long time, they get separated, and the suspensions scatter the beam of light that passes through them. It scatters the beam of light. Means when the light rays or the light passes through a suspension, so it makes the path of the light visible. Now colloids are heterogeneous mixtures, but they appear to be like a homogeneous mixtures. They appear like a solution, but actually they are heterogeneous. So colloids are the heterogeneous mixtures, and but they appear as a homogeneous. Now in the case of colloids, the size of the particles of solute, it is between that of the solution and that of the suspension, means the size of particles is larger than that of the solution and smaller than that of the suspension, like the milk, ink, or the soap solution. They are colloids. Milk, ink, soap solution, and the starch solution, they all are the colloids. Now the colloids are heterogeneous mixtures. They are heterogeneous mixtures, but they appears like a homogeneous mixtures. Now the size of the particles of a colloid, it is larger than that of the solution and smaller than that of the suspension. So the size of particles of colloid, it is more than 1 nanometer and it is less than 100 nanometer in the diameter. Size of particles, it is between 1 nanometer and 100 nanometer in diameter. Now the particles of colloid are not very large in size, so they can't be seen even with most of the microscope. So can't be seen with most of the microscope. Most of microscope. If we will use a very powerful microscope, then only we can see the particles. Now the particles of a colloid, they are not large in size, so they can easily pass through a filter paper. So we can't separate a colloid using a filter paper. so it can't be separated using a filter paper. Separated using filter paper. Colloids are also stable like a solution, so they do not get separate. So the particles of colloid do not get separate. They don't get separated when we keep them for a long time. Now, like a suspension, the colloids also scatter a beam of light that passes through a colloid. So if you will try to pass a beam of light, it will get scattered light. So these are the properties of the colloids. Now suppose if we are given a colloid and a true solution, then how can we differentiate between these two? Since both of them can't be separated using a filter paper, they do not get separated when we keep them for a long time, and they can't be seen, the particles can't be seen even with the most of the microscope. So what we can do, what we will do, we will pass a beam of light. We will pass a beam of light through a solution and through a colloid. So what will happen when the beam of light will pass through a solution? So the solution does not scatter the beam of light, means it does not makes the beam of light visible. But when this beam of light is passed through a colloid, so the colloid scatters the beam of light, means it will make the path of the light visible. The colloid will make the path of light visible, so that solution which makes the path of light visible, it is a colloid, and the solution which does not make the path of light visible, it is a true solution. So that's it students. We will continue our chapter in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.